Assalamu alaikum, everyone. Hope you guys haven't listened to me for a few days. तो मैंने कहा उदास हो गए होंगे, and I really hope you guys are doing very well. And you are preparing the way we expect you to prepare. This is what every teacher wants actually. But if you will do 50% of what we expect, trust me, you will get through. अच्छा, तो बाकी और आई होप सब ठीक ठाक होंगे. I just wanted to give some insight on more questions of P6 kit, especially for those students जिन्होंने सितंबर में अटेम्प्ट देनी थी लेकिन नहीं दे सके और फिर वो स्टडी एक्सेल में भी नहीं आए और एग्जाम टेक्निक वाले सेशन में भी नहीं आए. Regardless of scans, every effort of doing that, but still they have to attempt in December. I just wanted to help them. Our organization scans wanted to help them, so I just thought of a new method, and here I am on YouTube with you guys. So my pattern on YouTube videos would be that I would be discussing the requirement in a lot of details, and while discussing the requirement, I would equip you to with the technique that will enable you कि आप क्वेश्चन पढ़ें और पढ़ते 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 ही सॉरी रिक्वायरमेंट पढ़ें और रिक्वायरमेंट पढ़ते पढ़ते आपको कोई 60 to 70% of the solutions structure should be prepared in your mind. So to make you what we say master on this technique, I will be uploading a series of videos over here. तो आई ट्राई कि मैं एक दिन में कोई एक क्वेश्चन या एटलीस्ट दो क्वेश्चन जो है उनको डिस्कस कर दूं टिल एग्जाम डे. दे विल कीप ऑन कमिंग, एंड द फर्स्ट क्वेश्चन व्हिच आई सिलेक्टेड फ्रॉम द questions which I marked as important is HiSOP Limited. ऑलराइट जी, HiSOP Limited की अगर हम रिक्वायरमेंट के पोस्टमार्टम से स्टार्ट करें तो आई होप एवरीवन रिमेंबर्स देयर इज अ 4K अप्रोच. ठीक है, तो द 4K अप्रोच, अगर आपने किसी भी रिक्वायरमेंट का पोस्टमार्टम करना हो तो भाई अक्सर कहता होता है, और जिन लोगों ने तो मेरे से पढ़ा है उनको तो पता है भाई से मतलब है आकिल किरमानी, लेकिन जिन लोगों ने मेरे से नहीं पढ़ा हुआ, वेल फॉर दोज, भाई का मतलब है आकिल भाई यानी कि मैं. अच्छा, भाई की एक अप्रोच है जी रिक्वायरमेंट जो है उसका पोस्टमार्टम करने के लिए. सबसे पहले अपने से पूछा करो रिक्वायरमेंट पढ़ने के बाद क्या पूछा है, फिर पूछा करो किस बारे में या किस वजह से. आई एम रियली सॉरी फॉर माई राइटिंग, ऐसी है, गुजारा करें. फिर तीसरी चीज होती है किसके साथ, और फिर किसके बगैर. समटाइम्स आपने देखा ना एग्जामिनर कह रहा होता है आई डोंट वांट यू टू डू दिस, आई डोंट वांट यू टू डू दैट, आई वांट यू टू डू दिस. किसके साथ? आई डोंट वांट यू टू डू दिस, किसके बगैर? एंड ही सेइंग आई वांट यू टू कैलकुलेट द इफेक्ट ऑफ क्लेमिंग गिफ्ट रिलीफ. तो क्या कैलकुलेट करना है? इफेक्ट कैलकुलेट करना है. किसका? क्लेमिंग गिफ्ट रिलीफ का. तो इस तरह से जी ये 4K अप्रोच है. मैं अभी आपको इसको अप्लाई करना भी सिखाता हूँ. And why it's 4K? Because it's from Kirmani. K for Kirmani, K for 4K. And I have nothing to do with Ekta Kapoor. Trust me. No K factor, whatever. That one. None of that K factor are relevant to me. लेकिन जनाब आगे आते हैं. रिक्वायरमेंट है जी हमारे पास. यूजुअली ये जो छोटे वाले क्वेश्चन होते हैं इनकी रिक्वायरमेंट पढ़ने से पहले आप ये जो ऊपर वाला एक पैराग्राफ है थोड़ी कर लिया करें तो दैट वुड बी मच बेटर. से थोड़ा आइडिया हो जाता है that what the scenario would be about. HiSOP Limited wishes to provide assistance with home to work travel cost for Corin, who is an employee and also requires advice on corporation tax implications of of the purchase of a short lease and value-added tax implications of sale of a warehouse. So what might possibly be happening in the question? तो HiSOP लिमिटेड जी एक्चुअली आपकी क्लाइंट है, एक कंपनी है. ठीक है, पूछ क्या रही है वो आपसे? दे आर कंसर्न्ड अबाउट होम टू वर्क ट्रैवल कॉस्ट of some employee, I think. And by the way, I hope everyone remembers home to work and work to home is private traveling. And if it's a private traveling, make sure SMA deductions would not be allowed. अगर इसका एम्प्लॉयर इसको कुछ भी देगा इस ट्रैवलिंग के लिए, आप उसमें से कुछ माइनस नहीं कर सकेंगे, बिकॉज हम SMA की बेसिस ऑफ एक्सपेंस क्लेम यूज करते हैं टू डिडक्ट द अमाउंट फ्रॉम we receive from our employer. But we do not do that if the traveling is private. If the traveling is for performance of duties, only then the SMAs are applicable. So keep in mind, whatever you will get, that would be taxable benefit, because this is something private of Corin, who is an employee and also requires advice on corporation tax implications of Hysoft Limited also requires advice on corporation tax implications of purchase of a short lease. ओके कोई बिल्डिंग लीज आउट की होगी, उसका प्रीमियम पे किया होगा माइट बी, और उसका कॉर्पोरेशन टैक्स इम्प्लीकेशन भी हमें बतानी है, एंड वैल्यू एडेड टैक्स इम्प्लीकेशन ऑफ सेल ऑफ अ वेयरहाउस. ओके व्हाट माइट पॉसिबली बी हैपनिंग, एंड यू शुड कीप इन माइंड, जब कभी ये दो वर्ड्स इकट्ठे आए, वैट और बिल्डिंग की परचेज या सेल, द टॉपिक व्हिच शुड कम इनटू योर माइंड इज कैपिटल गुड्स स्कीम. रिमेंबर हमने कहा ईयर 1 में हम कितना वैट क्लेम करते हैं, उतना जितने परसेंट हम टैक्सेबल सप्लायर्स बेचते हैं. If 100%, 100%, if 60%, 60%, if 70%, 70%. But year of sale में हम कितनी परसेंटेज यूज करते हैं, that was dependent upon whether the building is up to 3 years old or it is opted to tax. This is the first case. Or in the other hand, if it is more than 3 years old and it is not opted to tax. So things are basically based upon that. If it is opted, well, the percentage to be used is 100%. And if it's not opted for tax after 3 years, the percentage to be used is 0. Let's see what would be happening over here. फिलहाल जी आगे आते हैं हम और requirements देखते हैं. Required. You should ignore value added tax for part A and B. We would love to do that because C part is all about VAT. Explain with the aid of calculations. Explain with the aid of calculations which of the two alternatives for providing financial assistance from home to work travel is most cost efficient for Corin and for Hysoft Limited. Okay, Linji, here comes the 4K approach. सबसे पहले तो जी क्या पूछा है? उन्होंने पूछा है मोस्ट कॉस्ट एफिशिएंट. तो सबसे इंपॉर्टेंट चीज तो पूछी, मतलब सबसे पहली चीज जो रिक्वायरमेंट में होती है वो होती है क्या करना क्या है. भाई ये पता करना है कि सबसे ज्यादा कॉस्ट एफिशिएंट क्या है. सो कॉस्ट एफिशिएंट. ऑलराइट, पार्डन माय स्पेलिंग एंड राइटिंग. कॉस्ट एफिशिएंट किसके लिए जी? ठीक है, तो ले जी उसने हमें बताया है किसके लिए. मेक श्योर जी दोनों के लिए. कॉरिन के बारे में भी बताएं और हाईसॉप लिमिटेड के बारे में भी बताएं. दोनों को सस्ता क्या पड़ता है. तो लेकिन वो मसला ये है ना कि किस चीज की कॉस्ट कह रहा है वो. तो जो फाइनेंशियल असिस्टेंस प्रोवाइड की जाएगी फ्रॉम होम टू वर्क ट्रैवल, तो किसके साथ या किस फाइनेंशियल assistance from work to home, which you should keep in mind is considered as private traveling. ठीक है, सो अगर प्राइवेट ट्रैवलिंग के लिए दो अल्टरनेटिव्स दिए जाएंगे. ठीक है, हमें दोनों अल्टरनेटिव्स में से देखना है कि कॉरिन और हाईसॉप के लिए फर्स्ट अल्टरनेटिव ऑफ प्रोवाइडिंग असिस्टेंस इज most cost efficient or the second alternative. So जो दो alternatives, the two alternatives which Hysoft Limited would offer to Corin, उनमें से कौन सा वाला Corin को सस्ता पड़ेगा और कौन सा वाला Hysoft Limited को. अच्छा, अब इस ऐसे क्वेश्चन का आंसर बनाने के लिए you should have some sketch in your mind. Like आपके ज़हन में कुछ ऐसा sketch बनना चाहिए that I should have these calculations in your mind. कि अगर हम बात करें अल्टरनेटिव 1, इसमें आपको एक वर्किंग करनी होगी कॉरिन की और एक वर्किंग आपको करनी होगी हाईसॉप लिमिटेड की, कि कॉरिन को क्या कॉस्ट पड़ रही है और हाईसॉप लिमिटेड को. अच्छा, बाय द वे, अगर हम कहें कि कॉरन को क्या कॉस्ट पड़ रही है और हाईसॉप लिमिटेड को क्या कॉस्ट पड़ रही है, आई वुड बी एबल टू डिस्कस इट इन मच बेटर वे once we will read the question and we'll find out what are the two different alternatives. But keep in mind, there should be, वो क्या मैं कहता होता हूँ, चार डब्बे बनने चाहिए तुम्हारे जेन में आंसर के। एक पहला मेन जो है वो आपके जेन में क्वाड्रेंट होना चाहिए, हमने एक अल्टरनेटिव वन बनाना है और एक हमने अल्टरनेटिव टू बनाना है, राइट? और हमने दोनों केसेस में दोनों पार्टीज की कॉस्ट ढूंढनी है, ठीक है? विच विल बी कॉरन कॉरन, हाइसॉप, अल्टरनेटिव वन, अल्टरनेटिव टू. So if you will have this sketch in your mind, now preparing a solution would be very easy even while you will be reading the scenario. Okay. Now you know there are four dabbas to fill in, and what data you might want. Now when you will be reading the scenario, you will be actually craving for that data rather than just reading the requirement without preparing anything like this in your mind and then reading the scenario. Well, my guys, that would not give you anything. ठीक है, उससे आपको कोई फायदा नहीं होने वाला। वो आप पूरा का पूरा सिनेरियो पढ़ लेंगे, फिर उसके बाद दोबारा रिक्वायरमेंट को दोबारा पढ़ने लग जाएंगे, फिर सिनेरियो को दोबारा पढ़ने लग जाएंगे। तो रिक्वायरमेंट पढ़ें, आंसर का जो बेस्ट एक स्केच जेन में बनता है वो बना लें, माइट बी क्वेश्चन पेपर पे बना लें। अभी तो मैनुअल अटेम्प्ट है आपकी लास्ट, होपफुली, ठीक है? तो this is what you should do, ठीक है? And then you should read the scenario, it will help out a lot. B requirement, explain with the aid of calculations, okay, corporation tax implications for Hyssop Limited of the acquisition of the leasehold premises on 1st February 2020 in relation to company's tax adjusted trading profit for year ending 31st December 2020. And this and is very important. Whenever in the requirement you find an and, tell yourself this is not one requirement, these are two requirements, one before and one after and. So before and, what we find out is, once again, if you want to apply 4K approach, we can do that over here as well. सबसे पहले तो जी, just think of it, क्या पूछा है? This is the time where you should pause this video and think by yourself कि क्या पूछा है, ठीक है? Then you think by yourself किस बारे में पूछा है? Stop there as well, pause the video, ठीक है? किसके साथ, किसके बगैर, and all those things, ठीक है? Okay, first of all, let's think about क्या पूछा है? Explain करें with the calculations. क्या? Corporation tax implications of acquisition लें जी। तो बेसिकली हमारा काम है कॉर्पोरेशन टैक्स इम्प्लीकेशंस। इन कॉर्पोरेशन टैक्स में प्रिसाइजली किस चीज की? विद रिस्पेक्ट टू कंपनीज TATP, ठीक है? सो क्या पूछा है? सीटी इम्प्लीकेशंस पूछी हैं। किसकी? सीटी में प्रिसाइजली ट्रेडिंग प्रॉफिट्स में क्या इम्प्लीकेशन होंगी? किसकी? किस बारे में? एक्विजिशन ऑफ अ लीज। एक्विजिशन ऑफ अ लीज कह लें, या वो क्या कहते होते हैं हम, प्रीमियम पे किया होगा ना इन्होंने कोई, और लीज होल्ड बिल्डिंग एक्वायर की होगी, ठीक है? सो हमने बताना है कॉर्पोरेशन टैक्स इम्प्लीकेशंस विद रिस्पेक्ट टू ट्रेडिंग प्रॉफिट अगर कोई लीज एक्वायर की जाए। वेल, आई होप यू गाइज रिमेंबर अ फॉर्मूला 51 minus D over 50 into P. If you guys remember this formula, I hope पूरे का पूरा solution आपके ज़हन में आ गया होगा। क्योंकि जब भी हम कोई बिल्डिंग एक्वायर करते हैं टू बी यूज्ड इन आवर ट्रेड, HMRC says that whatever you guys are paying for this building as premium, well, that premium is not completely allowable. Well, you guys have to find out the allowable portion by using this formula. But whatever the answer of this formula, that would give you allowable over the life of this lease. D is duration actually. Then you will divide it with D, and that would be per annum allowable, right? That would be per annum allowable amount. Now you have to look into it that whether the company used the building for complete 12 months or we acquired it within a year. ठीक है, ऐसा होता है ना, हमारा जनवरी से दिसंबर ईयर है और हमने कोई बिल्डिंग एक्वायर की 1st of October पे, तो अक्टूबर, नवंबर, दिसंबर, इन दैट केस यू गाइस विल बी डूइंग इट 3/12, because this is not WDA, which is full in the year of purchase and none in the year of sale. This is not WDA. So it is not full in the year of purchase and none in the year of sale. It is on pro rata basis. अगर 3 महीने इस्तेमाल किए तो 3 महीने, और अगर 12 महीने में से 12 महीने इस्तेमाल किए, then you guys do not have to do this. In that case, you will use whatever per annum allowable portion is there. So this was the first requirement. This was the first portion of B requirement and say पहले पहले. और उसने प्रिसाइजली अगर आप गौर करें तो ईयर एंडिंग 31 दिसंबर 2020 के लिए पूछा है, और प्रेमिसेस कब एक्वायर हुआ है, 1st February पे. So year ending 31st December 2020 would have started obviously from 1st January 2020. And we acquired the building at 1st February. So I think this is what you guys should be doing in the end, 11 by 12, right? And its ability to roll over the gain. ले जी, and के आगे कहानी नई शुरू होती थी. And its ability to roll over the gain on sale of warehouse. तो कोई warehouse हमने बेचा है और ये लीज होल्ड प्रेमिसेस हमने एक्वायर किया है, तो ऐसे मौके में जी कोई रोल ओवर रिलीफ की तरफ से आपको उम्मीद है मेरे बच्चों के? नहीं है. तो फॉर दैट जस्ट थिंक ऑफ अ सिनेरियो, जस्ट थिंक ऑफ इट कि अगर एक कंपनी आपको ये कहे कि उन्होंने एक वेयर हाउस बिल्डिंग सेल की है, ठीक है, एंड दिस इज बीन सोल्ड, और उन्होंने एक्वायर कर लिया है एक लीज होल्ड. So you will say, yes, if there are proceeds minus cost, there would be gains. And if all of the proceeds have been reinvested, all of the gain could be hold over, right? So we have to look into कि warehouse की proceeds कितनी है, जो leasehold premises के लिए हमने premium पे किया है, that actually are वो cost क्या से रीइन्वेस्ट हुए तो ये वाला सारा गेन होल्ड ओवर हो जाएगा. लेकिन अगर सारे पैसे रीइन्वेस्ट नहीं हुए, वेल इन दैट केस जितने रीइन्वेस्ट नहीं हुए उतना इमीडिएटली चार्जेबल होएगा, एंड इन दैट वुड बी ट्रांसफरिंग, विल बी डिफरिंग under. So whether it could do or not, well, things are dependent upon warehouse, and one important thing, whether the warehouse was a business asset or not, and whether the leasehold building will be used for trading purposes or not. To restrict the deferral of the relief, right? So this was the second requirement. And now the C, last requirement, explain with the aid of calculations the VAT implications of disposal of warehouse on 31st December 2020. All right. Well, whenever, I already told you, when there is VAT and there is a building which has been acquired or sold, the topic which should come into your mind is capital scheme. इन्होंने year 1 में कितना VAT input VAT claim किया, and then कितने सालों में से यूज किया अगर ये percentage taxable percentage change हुई. Because if someone sorry, okay, because if someone is making a taxable trade, maybe taxable trade of 70% in year 1, and exempt trade is like 30% in year 1, तो year 1 में फिर इन्हें total input VAT का 70% मिल जाएगा. But if it was 100% तो 100% मिल जाएगा. But if they sell, let's say in year 6 or year 7 or year 10, somewhere before year 10, so in that case we would not be looking at the sales percentage of the business. We will be looking at whether the building, because it is now year 6 and it will be more than 3 years old building, we will be looking into whether the building was opted to tax or not. Because if it was opted to tax, in that case, taxable percentage would become 100. But if it is not opted to tax, well, in that case, the taxable percentage would become 0 and exempt percentage would become 100. When it would be opted for tax, in that case, year of sale mein taxable percentage would remain 100 and exempt percentage remains 0. And there is no third thing in the year of sale. It would be either 0 or 100, which would be dependent upon if the building is more than 3 years old, it was opted to tax or not. Because if the building is not more than 3 years old, it's already a standard rated supply. That means it's already a 100% building. राइट ऑल राइट लें जी अब हम पढ़ लेते हैं सिनेरियो और फिर आई होप यू विल बी एबल टू solve this question by yourself. All right. Hyosop Limited is a UK resident trading company. Okay. Prepares accounts to 31st December each year. All right. Is registered for value added tax. All right. Leased a factory on 1st February 2020. Now we are very much sure about that 11 by 12. Corin is resident and domiciled in UK. All right. Corin is an employee of Hyosop Limited who works only at company's head office, earns an annual salary of 55,000 from Hyosop Limited and has no other source of income. All right. 55,000 means this person is already a higher rate taxpayer. And if someone is already a higher rate taxpayer and we have to discuss some additional benefit which is to be provided to him in either alternative one or in alternative two, make sure those benefits in kind would attract an income tax rate of 40%. And if NIC primary, which you guys call employee NIC, has to be paid because some of the benefit was taxable cash benefits, well, those would be at 2% because his salary is already there to cover that 12% rate, right? Okay, then comes Hyosop Limited assistance with travel. All right. Okay. Hyosop Limited is considering two alternatives to provide assistance from with Corin's home to work travel. Well, I will repeat again. Home to work travel is private, and whatever he's gonna get is gonna be taxable. Alternative one, Provena of motorcycle. That's fancy. I would like that. My employer should give me like one of my favorite bikes, Triumph Street Triple. It's a nice bike. It's a monster. खैर आगे आते will provide Corin with 1250. खैर वापस आते Hyosop Limited will provide Corin with motorcycle for traveling from to and from home to work. Well, if normally the motorcycle is provided, it will come in form of, we will say cost ka 20% would be taxable benefit in kind. But let's read what information has been provided over here. Provenos lease motorcycle, including fuel, with Hyosop Limited. Uh, Hyosop Limited is 3160 per annum. All right. So it's going to cost Hyosop Limited 3160 to provide that motorcycle, and this will give rise to an annual taxable benefit of 3160 for Corin. Well, question has been made easy by your examiner because he did not made you to calculate the taxable benefit for the motorcycle. Rather, he said you can assume the cost which is to be suffered by Hyosop Limited is actually the taxable benefit in kind for Corin. So Corin इसके ऊपर देगा जी 40% income tax और Hyosop Limited के लिए ये होगा expense, right? Corin will incur no additional travel or parking cost in respect of his home to work travel. All right. तो इस केस में वो कह रहा है जी और additional cost Corin की नहीं आएंगी. So what would you be doing to fill out these dabbas now? Now you already know a Corin is a higher taxpayer. Whatever the taxable benefit 3160 was, that is gonna be taxed on Corin in the form of income tax, which you guys already know would be at the rate of 40%. So what might possibly be the cost suffered by Corin? I think that's an income tax because bike is income tax. I would write it over here because using a bike of an employer is a non-cash taxable benefit. It would not give rise to any NICs to be payable by Corin. So the only expense Corin would have to bear in this alternative is 1264 of additional income tax for accepting that bike. And in this case, what would be the cost for Hyosop Limited? Well, there will be two. One is right in front of you, that is cost of providing the bike. Which happens to be 3160. it was given in the exam. And could you tell me, there's one other cost which we have to calculate over here when it comes to HISOP Limited's outflows. We should consider another cost. What might possibly be that? What possibly might that be? Sorry. Okay, that would be class 1A. Because then there's a taxable benefit in kind. It's gonna bite the employer in the form of NIC. Either it will be class 1A or it will be class 1 employer NIC, which is also called secondary NIC. Because if the benefit is taxable, either it is cash or non-cash, employer would have to pay NIC. And over here, employer would have to pay class 1A, which happens to be 13.8%. And in this case, that would give us like this. Okay. And then the approach which I have told you, that in corporation tax, always do something, that is, these are the outflows. And I hope everyone knows that these outflows are made by a company on its employee. And these outflows are considered as allowable expense for trading profit of the company. So anything, any expense which has been incurred by a company, if that is an allowable trading expense, it would result in corporation tax savings, right? Corporation tax savings, because if it is an allowable expense, it's gonna reduce the trading profit of the company and thus gonna save corporation tax at the rate of 19%. So corporation HISOP Limited would be incurring this much outflows, but because these outflows are tax allowable expenses for them, which would give rise to a tax savings of this much, we'll be left with 2912 of the net cost suffered by HISOP Limited. All right. So this is just to give you an insight that how you should be solving this question. और भाई बात ही होके मेरे हिसाब से अल्टरनेटिव वन पूरे का पूरा ही डिस्कस क्या सॉल्व ही कर दिया. चले आगे आते हैं. Alternative 2. Payments towards cost of driving and provision of by parking place. HISOP Limited will reimburse. Now, alternative 2, everyone. HISOP Limited will reimburse Corin for the cost of driving their own car to work up to an amount of 2240 each year. All right. So in this case, HISOP Limited का खर्चा कितना हो रहा है बेटा? 2240. चल ले. एक तो ये लिखे ना हम पहले. बाकी बातें बाद में. Okay. First of all, payment to Corin. कितनी थी? I just forgot that. 2240. Okay. Don't worry, I won't be solving all the parts this way. Corin estimates that his annual cost for driving from home to work is 2820. Now, before going to this 2820, you guys just think of it. And if my employer is giving me 2240 for traveling home to work and work to home, which is called normal commuting, think with the point of view of Corin, what would be the taxable benefit? Whole of this 2240, because we are not going to deduct any NIs out of this employer reimbursement, right? So what I can also do in this Excel file is I can write out right here what would be the taxable benefit in kind for Corin. Well, that will be again this 2240. By the way, Corin said that he has some reservations. What was the reservation? Well, Corin said his actual cost would be 2820 rather than just 2240, which has been reimbursed by his employer. He says my actual costs are 2820, which means if you are just going to calculate income taxes and NICs over here, that would not be the all the cost Corin would be suffering. There is some additional expense he has to suffer if he will be accepting offer. How? Well, that's easy. 2820. 2820 is the actual cost, whereas he's only been reimbursed by 2240. तो बाकी का 580 बेटा वो अपनी जेब से लगाएगा ना, अगर ये वाला अल्टरनेटिव एक्सेप्ट करेगा. एक तो उसको देना पड़ेगा एडिशनल income tax, I am sure, because there are taxable benefit. And then he would have to give, he would have to suffer some additional cost of traveling. As the requirement was not to calculate taxable benefit, requirement was which of the alternative would be cost efficient. So we are finding all the cost. And in the cost, yes, there is one of the cost, income tax and NIC, and if there are any additional costs. Okay. Additionally, Hyosop Limited will pay AB Parking 920 per year for car parking space for Corin near the head office. Okay, 920. First for Corin. For Corin, it would be an exempt benefit, right? So that would be an exempt benefit because parking while performance of duties is exempt. Okay. So this would not give rise to any income tax for Corin, but this is a kharcha by Hyosop Limited. 920. There we go. Okay. अच्छा आगे acquisition of factory आ गया. So let's finish this one now. लेकिन जनाब पहले कॉरिन पे आते हैं. कॉरिन के लिए यहाँ पे लगेगा हमारा बेटा 40% इनकम टैक्स और दूसरा बेनिफिट वैसे ही एग्जाम्प्ट हो गया. तो इस केस में इतनी कॉस्ट पड़ कॉरिन को इतनी. Now, could you tell me there is one more expense Corin would have to suffer in this case? What would that be? Pause the video and think about it. Okay, I hope you have unpaused it. That is class, and you got it. What it is? That is class 1 primary NIC. जैसे आप employee NIC कहते हैं. I'm going to write primary NIC. Why primary NIC? Because you just receive a cash of 2240. Come on, that is a taxable cash benefit, right? Okay. Okay. The cash which you received is a taxable benefit which would attract 2% class 1 primary NIC. So he would have to pay itna income tax, itni NIC, itna additional expense karna padega apni jeb se, and the total he had to suffer this time would be this 1520. Whereas on the other hand, if we talk about Hyosop Limited, we will say Hyosop Limited would have to pay class 1 secondary NIC. Okay, class 1 secondary NIC upon taxable benefits only. So taxable benefit was 2240, not 920 because that was exempt and there is no NICs on exempt benefits. By the way, employer rate is 13.8%. अगर किसी को शुरू वाले 8632 पाउंड्स का रौला पड़ रहा है कि वो कहाँ गए, तो बेटा he already had a salary of 55,000 which would cover everything like that. So how much NIC company would have to suffer? Well, this much. So the total outflows company would have to make in this one would be itne, and this is once again gonna result in corporation tax savings because once again all of this expense is an allowable expense because been incurred on an employee. So as it is an allowable expense, kitna bala 346912. This would give rise to corporation tax savings at the rate of 19% to the company, and this would result in itni corporation tax savings. And this time your net costs will be this much. So what should we suggest? Actually, we are not required to suggest. We are just required to calculate all them. क्योंकि तुम suggest कर ही नहीं पाओगे. गौर करो, Corin को पहला alternative सस्ता पड़ रहा है, Hyosop Limited को दूसरा. So, अच्छा, and by the way, in this particular question, if you will not be doing this inflows thing, your answer would be considered as correct. अच्छा, उसकी reason क्या है? क्योंकि दोनों तरह से आपने टोटल एक्सपेंस निकाल के फिर उसका 19% टैक्स सेविंग माइनस किए, राइट? तो आपके आंसर पे या आपके डिसीजन पे कोई फर्क नहीं पड़ना था अगर आप ये इनफ्लोज माइनस ना करते. बट आई वुड नॉट सजेस्ट यू टू डूइंग दैट बिकॉज इन द एग्जाम यू वुड नॉट बी एबल टू आइडेंटिफाई कि किस क्वेश्चन के अंदर आप इनफ्लोज को कंसिडर करें और किस क्वेश्चंस में ना करें. सो आई वुड सजेस्ट always do outflows and inflows. Doesn't matter, हम दो लाइनें ज्यादा लिख लेंगे, खैर है, हम जाया नहीं करना चाहते अपने बिला वजह के मार्क्स. By the way, that was part A, which I just solved completely जज्बाती होके, and अगले parts में I'll be taking care. Acquisition of a factory. Hyosome Limited acquired 40 years on a factory of on 1st February 2020, for which it paid a premium of 260,000. So the formula which I was telling you earlier of the allowable one, which was 51 minus D over 50 into P. Now you know what is D and what is P. D is the duration of the lease, which happens to be 40, and P is premium, which happens to be 260. So this is what you are going to do: 51 minus 40 over 50 into 260,000. Whatever answer comes, divided by 40 into 11 by 12. That would be the allowable expense for Hyosop Limited to be deducted from this particular year. Well, as far as disposal of warehouse, Hyosop Limited, if you guys remember, हमने एक तो ये बताना था कि कितनी अमाउंट लेस कर सकते हैं, जो अब आप इस तरह से कैलकुलेट कर लेंगे, और दूसरा हमने ये बताना था कि हमने जो लीज होल्ड प्रेमिसेस एक्वायर किया है, इसकी एक्विजिशन के ऊपर सेल ऑफ वेयर हाउस का गेन कितना डिफर हो सकता है, इफ यू गाइस रिमेंबर. ठीक है, तो उसकी इंफॉर्मेशन लेते हैं, उसका आंसर दे देते हैं, एंड देन वील मूव फॉरवर्ड. Hyosop Limited has agreed to sell the warehouse on 31st December 2020. Okay, for 315,000. All right, the proceeds involved are too high as compared to the cost we reimbursed. तो पैसे आए कितने बेचने पे? 315. लगाए कितने? 260. There is an amount of around 55,000 which has not been reinvested. Okay, let's see what happens, which give rise to chargeable gains of 16,520. Okay, gains भी उसने खुद ही बता दी हमें. Hyosop Limited had purchased the warehouse when it was newly constructed. One second, अगर किसी ने 55,000 pounds reinvest नहीं किया, तो इसका मतलब है उसका 55,000 pound तक का गेन भी डेफर नहीं होगा. इनका गेन तो 16,520 है, तो इनका तो कोई गेन डेफर नहीं होना चाहिए. But if the examiner is asking, there would be some point. So continue studying, reading the question. Hyosop Limited had purchased the warehouse when it was newly constructed on 1st January 17 for 270,000. All right, excluding VAT. Newly constructed, VAT के हिसाब से हमें पता लग गया कि इन्होंने एक standard rated commercial building खरीदी थी. Because it was newly constructed, that means it has been acquired within 3 years of the completion of construction. Warehouse was used by Hyosop Limited in its trade till 31st December 19. ले जी, हमने खरीदा एक वेयर हाउस जनवरी 17 में. 17, 18, 19, 3 साल हमने उसे यूज किया in the trade of Hyosop Limited. Okay, then what happened? Since when it has been rented out to unconnected party. Okay, just think of it. There is a warehouse which you own for 4 years, out of which 3 years it was used for business purposes, and 1 year it was rented. That means non-business purposes. You can say this warehouse, 75% of the times it was a business asset, and 25% of the times it was a non-business asset. तो समझ तो गए होंगे आप. 315 नहीं यूज कर सकते आप प्रोसीड. आप 315 को करेंगे 75-25. इसी तरह से there's an azan. Let's take a break. All right, I'm gonna discuss this one जल्दी जल्दी से इससे पहले के okay. So आप proceeds को जब कर लोगे मेरा बेटा 75 and 25, this would definitely be something which would be getting reinvested into 260. अब अगर तो 75% proceeds जितनी आएंगी वो सारी की सारी reinvest हो रही हैं तो 75% of the gains could be deferred, but 25% could not be deferred in that case as well. Next is, until 1st January 2020, Hyosop Limited made only standard rated supplies for VAT purposes. Hyosop Limited has not opted to tax the warehouse for VAT purposes. Capital goods scheme for VAT applies to the warehouse. तो जिस साल में हाईसॉप लिमिटेड ने ये वेयरहाउस एक्वायर किया था उन्होंने कितना इनपुट वैट क्लेम किया होगा? Well, they would have claimed whole of the input VAT. 270,000 पर जितना भी इनपुट वैट बना होगा 20% का 100% उन्होंने क्लेम कर लिया होगा। और जब हम ईयर 4 4 साल इस्तेमाल करने के बाद बेचेंगे तो द परसेंटेज विच यू गाइस हैव टू नाउ यूज विल बी zero. Why? Because it is a warehouse which is not opted to tax and it is more than 3 years old, and in this case company would have to repay VAT to HMRC. And how the calculation would be done regarding that? Well, it would be something like this: total input VAT in year 1, you will be multiplying it with percentage tab which happens to be 100, percentage up which happens to be 0, into remaining years 6 by 10, because this is year of sale and this is the amount payable to HMRC. That is all from my side, and I am really sorry if there were any वो क्या उसे कहते हैं sound में कोई problem आई हो because of azan just started. I hope you are able to listen to me. If you are not able to listen to the last part, do let me know. I'll record that again. Thank you so much. See you around. And please अपने comments में मुझे ये बताएं कि which question you want me to discuss other than this one, and how I can improve the interaction with you guys by conducting these YouTube sessions more, and how I should do them. Please comment, please let me know, and please share this video with all the students who are attempting for December, and they will keep on coming and keep on sharing. Thank you so much. Allah Hafiz.